Hey, let me tell you a story. I have a chocolate Tesla experiment in my house.
Yes?
He's 1 year old and he has 4 legs. He took me down like the Disney 101 Dalmatian meeting scene yesterday. I got skints. I didn't break any teeth, but I definitely gashed up this, but you can't see it because I have a nice cool beard.
So 5 years from now, you're gonna go be shaving, you're gonna, where'd
Yes.
that scar come from?
Bar fight.
Moto Photo Adventures is on the road.
Hey, did you see my review video, my choosing the best moto camping tent?
The decision-making video on your tent? I did. I was standing right behind the camera when you did it.
Did you like it?
I did.
Awesome.
And I liked the decision that you made because of the things that you said, yes.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. Cool, man.
So what are we doing now?
Well, welcome back to Moto Photo Adventures, everybody. This is Chris.
Jason.
And if you haven't seen it, I did a little video about my decision to purchase the Big Agnes Copper Spur HV UL2 person bikepacking tent.
Way to go on the title.
That's a long title.
It is.
But there were several factors that went into that, and I desperately needed a new tent after nights of seepage and rainage and waking up miserable. On our last adventure, I said it was time for a new tent. Got a new tent. Go look at the other video and it'll walk you through the process of some of the other ones that I eliminated. But today we're going to do a full hands-on review and set this sucker up so we can tell you all about it.
Where are we?
We are at the old naval base in Charleston, South Carolina.
North Charleston, to be specific.
North Charleston,
Yes.
Yep, which is just a line in the sand. You know,
Yes, it
us
is.
humans make
Yes.
such funny lines in sands. I don't know
Well,
why.
it's now called Riverfront Park because they closed down the Navy base a couple of decades ago. But interesting fact, I got married right over there.
Get out of here.
Yeah, in the old officers' quarters when they were refurbishing it. The big old oak tree right out in the front yard.
Nice.
I think I was one of the first ones to have an event staged there.
That's cool,
Yeah,
man.
it's kind of neat. So this place is kind of neat to me.
Congratulations, Erica. You got yourself a good one.
That's what I keep telling her.
All right, so what does that have to do with tenting?
I don't know, but she sometimes kicks me into the doghouse, which sometimes turns into a tent. So maybe I'm in the market for one as well.
Oh, well, speaking of which, if you are in the market for a new tent, you guys, I found the best place to go to find new tents. Moto Camp Nerd. You got to check these guys out.
Ben and Mary.
Ben and Mary, wonderful couple. Just a local homegrown mom and pop shop. They really had my interests at heart and weren't just trying to sell me whatever's on the shelf.
That's true, because I was talking to, after you chose yours, I was speaking to him about, you know, in a minute I'm going to have to be making those same kind of decisions. And I'm like, well, what do you recommend? And his perfect response was, I don't recommend, I listen to what you need, and then we can talk about what it is. And so he wasn't pushing the sale that day. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm buying from you.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And they have great sales going on too. But hey man, whenever we're on our big motorcycle trips, we're always talking about shop local, you know, support the local restaurateur, you know, the local diner. Same concept. These guys are from North Carolina. They've opened up a beautiful shop there and they cater specifically to our needs. Motorcycle travelers,
Bikers,
bicycle campers,
hikers.
Which utmost respect to bicycle campers. Oh my God. You remember the guy that we saw
going to
riding
the big ditch?
How you guys doing?
All right.
Which way you headed? To the big ditch.
And backpackers. So anybody in that category should be talking to Moto Camp Nerd.
In this video, we're setting it up and pointing at things and talking about them.
Yes.
All right, let's do that then.
I gotta show it to you.
Okay. Yes, I've seen it. Have
Isn't
you
that
seen
cool?
it? I love it. It's actually cool. Well, I think before we get too deep into it, I would say if I had to point out one aspect of this right off the top, the poles are super short.
12 inches.
So that makes a humongous difference in packability on a motorcycle.
Right.
I mean, of course, in backpacking and on bicycling as well, but on a motorcycle, it fits directly into
Your
a pannier. Because your old one was another 1/3 as long as that, as is mine, and the poles don't quite work, and so you're sticking them into a different way or strapping them down in a different way.
You're forced to carry an additional duffel bag, essentially.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that would make this better is the entire thing would be blow up like a jump castle.
Oh my God, it's gonna blow!
We'll get there.
Eventually.
Yes.
And,
All right.
And the other cool part, if you are a bicycle rider, a bicycle camper, it comes with these straps, so you can actually just strap it to your handlebars.
Like a Molly kind of deal.
Yeah. 12-inch size. The pack itself is 7 inches wide by 13.5 inches. It's perfect size for fitting into a pannier. Weighs 3 pounds and 8 ounces. Next to nothing. You're not going to gain much muscle doing that. Once you set it up, though, it's a full-size 3-season tent. 40 inches of headroom, nice big vestibule area on both sides, so you have 2 vestibules. The ground cloth, which also, by the way, fits inside that pack.
Right.
The ground cloth extends out under both vestibules, so you have a place to wipe your feet off, which is super cool.
Yep.
The clips, it comes with 11 clips that clip to all of the structure itself. And the cool part about that, and that was a huge factor in choosing this one over some of the others that I considered, because some of the others only had like 8 clips. So what that means is once you got it all clipped up, the top of the tent is pulled out nice and wide, so you have lots of room inside.
Gotcha.
It just feels bigger than some of the others that it competes against.
Nice. Well, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
Boom.
That
Bingo.
wasn't too bad.
That was pretty easy.
There was 2 of us setting it up, but still.
Granted.
Didn't take but a second.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, when you're traveling on a motorcycle, last thing you want to do is have a tent that's all fiddly and hard to set up.
I hate fiddly.
Color-coded, the different straps.
Orange
are
goes to
color-coded.
orange, gray goes to gray.
Super, super easy. It made it foolproof, basically.
Then that works for us because
And
we are fools.
Because we are fools. And I have to tell you, I love the material. It's this new solution dye fabric that they use. So it's not using pigments and dyes that, are harmful to the environment. So it goes along with our
environmentally sustainable travel.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love it.
All right. Well,
super lightweight too. I mean, it just feels, but durable at the same time. All right, I'll tell you about some of my favorite features as we go along. It is, of course, a 3-season tent, which is great. Super waterproof, very secure, but at the same time, lots of ventilation for when you're in summertime. So good for, the shoulders of end of winter, early spring, and all the way in through the fall. All right, well, let's look real quickly at the connections first of all. Everything is this beautiful, sturdy material. That is not gonna rip. These tie downs and these zippers and everything are very, very well made. Beautiful stuff. And you should take a look at these stakes. These stakes are like a work of art. Aluminum, super lightweight, but built with a design that's like an I-beam, so it's very, very durable.
let me add that those are simple. Now the the ground here is soft, but I will say the design of those and the thinness of the stake itself makes it significantly easier to push into the ground than my current tent stakes.
There you go.
I noticed that immediately.
Now listen to the beautiful sound of this zipper. Isn't that great? And there's 2 vestibules, so that's one thing that I like. And I'll show you very quickly when you set up this little vestibule on this side, the toggles are a lot easier than my old tent. My old tent, the toggles were kind of fiddly, but that's how you hold it up. Piece of cake, just click it in, done. Nice little vestibule, and this is the selling feature, or one of the selling features for me, is that the ground cloth extends out all the way into the vestibule, and you've got 2 vestibules, one on each side. I primarily camp solo, and so I've got 2 places where I can store boots or dry bags or food, whatever I want on the outside of the tent, in addition to the extra storage I've got inside the tent since it's a 2-man tent. All right, before we enter the tent, let me show you the other part of the vestibule that was a huge selling point for me. So I'm going to undo this toggle, and most tents, of course, the vestibule just rolls to one side and that's all there is to it. This one, I can leave that unzipped, and then there's another zipper over here. If you have your little tie-down straps, which we didn't bother to put up, but check this out. You could have a tie-down strap that goes over to your bike or over to a tree, and you can set your little camp chair right here, and you've got yourself a beautiful little porch. Isn't that cool? Now, if you're a backpacker, if you're a hiker, your hiking poles can be stood right here. That was really what this was designed for. But for us motorcyclists, this will easily loop over a handlebar, maybe over a tail bag, and your bike's sitting right here. I think that's a brilliant design. So if it's a hot summer day, you've got a nice little piece of shade. And of course, if there's a little bit of light rain, you have somewhere you can retreat to. So I thought that was just brilliant. And the zippers are super secure. These super ultra lightweight tents are known to have zippers as a weak point, but I found that the Big Agnes zippers were very, very solid. All right, aside from the ventilation that you get from the vestibule, I'll show you real quickly. Beautiful big top ventilation area up here as well. Has a little stick so that you can pop it open, but if it rains, you can also close it. Or if it's cold, you know, just to keep a little bit of heat in. But nice little ventilation right up there at the top also helps reduce on moisture. And of course, I don't have it open yet, but on this side, being a two-person tent, it does have an entire separate door and separate vestibule over here with the dual zipper system, so you can have a porch on both sides, you know. So in Charleston, of course, even if you're just camping by yourself, you don't need two porches, but man, you would get some beautiful cross breezes. So when you're camping during the summer months, get a nice breeze flowing over you at night. I do really like the color though. This is a beautiful, nice neutral color. So if we're ever stealth camping somewhere, it's not bright yellow or orange. It's going to stick out of the trees and neighbors going, what is he doing?
That is true.
All right, check out the vestibule again. I just love that this comes out all the way. I can bring my feet over here. Oh, now my feet aren't going to get dirty when I go in. Pretty cool, hey? The slope of this tent is perfect, so you can just sit right down in it. And of course, you can always use the little toggle system to secure that door out. If it's getting close to camp night time, like you're getting ready to get in your bed, I do not recommend this. You'll have visitors with you all night long who will have enjoyed entering your opening. But look at that, how big this is. 40 inches of headroom, plenty of room to kneel and, you know, get up to change clothes and do all that. Put your sleeping bag on this side. Plenty of room for your equipment if you want to stash your cameras and gear and stuff in here. But there are some really, really cool features inside the tent. So come on in, let me show you something. First of all, look right up here. Check out this beautiful little pocket. It's almost invisible. Perfect place to put your phone. And check this out. They even left little notches so your headphones can dangle down. So while you're sitting here sleeping, you got your headphones in, jamming to some tunes or watching a TV or YouTube, your phone can be sitting up there high and dry. Pretty cool, huh? And then over on this side, unbelievable. Look at how massive this pocket is. So you can store all kinds of stuff. Put your book up there, put your dirty socks up there. No, I don't recommend that. Other cool little features right here. You've got your door keep handle over here, and there's all kinds of little ties like right here where I can hang my my little fan. I've got a little tent fan and of course a light. There's others over here, so I envision putting a couple of strings so I can put some clothes up there to dry if I need to. Just a beautifully well thought out tent. I am just extremely impressed with this tent.
Now, you went over all of the features and the functions and the attributes and the colors.
Yes.
And the clips and the zips.
Yep.
And all of the nice little things. Is there anything you don't like?
Well, the price.
Okay. The price.
It's not a cheap tent, you guys.
It is not.
I mean, none of those tents that I reviewed, if you go back and watch my review video or my evaluation of how I ended up with this one, they're all in the $549 range, $550, let's just call it. The cool part was I happened to catch, Moto Camp Nerd was having a huge sale. It was $479. So again, contact Moto Camp Nerd. They are always running sales, so you can always find great deals on these things. In addition to that $550 for the price of the tent, it doesn't include the ground cloth. That's another $80. And that's normal for all three of those higher end super compact tents from Nemo, MSR, any of those higher end brands. The ground cloth is extra. I don't know why. I think they should just include it, but at any point. That's the only thing that I really don't like about
what
this
do you
particular
think
tent.
then is attributing factor to the cost over, say, a Walmart / Amazon
Material.
super sale?
Totally material.
Okay,
It is such a thin but extremely strong material.
there you go.
Yeah, and the poles, the poles are super, super strong. Of course, the really, really cheap tents have fiberglass poles. You do not want fiberglass
Or
poles.
thin-walled aluminum poles.
Or they're thin-walled aluminum poles. But the material that these are made out of just click together like a glove. Yeah, you can tell the craftsmanship is totally worth it. It's a good value. And understand, of course, especially if you do spend the extra for the footprint, it's going to last you a lifetime. So
That's true.
Highly worth it if you do a lot of camping like we do.
Yeah, though, I mean, not to knock a Walmart version or an Amazon version, because I have one. I don't remember, because I didn't do a whole lot of research, and the budget was small at the time, and I knew I would be upgrading at some point. I didn't push a lot of money into my first motorcycle tent.
Right.
But you can definitely tell the quality difference between the zippers and the mesh and the fly and all of those things. So I would assume then, being a Walmart / Amazon $89.99 version, that 2 years-ish, and you're going to start seeing some problems, some zipper sticks, some holes, things like that.
Seams are gonna
You
start
may
busting
not
like mine
see
did.
this, and this could be an 8 to 10 year tent.
Yes.
So that, I think, is the cost balance in that
Agreed.
situation.
Agreed. Highly recommend it, you guys. I'm very excited. I'm very pleased with it, and I owe a huge thank you to Ben again and Mary at Moto Camp Nerd for letting me touch and feel and play, because that's really how I make my decisions, my final choices. And my hat goes off to them and all that they're trying to accomplish. And I know you guys don't have to buy from them, but if you can, I would highly recommend it. If all things being equal, Moto Camp Nerd is the place to go.
Cool. You know what? One of the best things about that?
What?
The mesh. You know why?
Why?
It's getting buggy out here.
I know.
I'm not slapping gnats.
I know. Let's get out of here.
Radio.
Cinch sack.
Quit. Every time that it's gonna go spike, spike,
Sorry.
Moto Photo Adventures is on the road.